Sheep! Sheep farming is hugely important to Scotland, shaping its landscape and history and providing an important contribution to its economy and people's well-being. They are a key element to Scottish farming heritage. They provide us with food, clothing, and even wonderful pets to care for. We spoke to some experts to find out a little bit more about sheep.
Yeah, you get different breeds. There is blackies, there is mules, which are just cross blackies. There is Texel crosses, there is Texels, and there is Suffolk. Yeah, there's a lot.
There are over 37 breeds of sheep still existing in Scotland alone, and more than 200 breeds of sheep across the world. But what can we use sheep for?
Sheep are used for eating and breeding, and that's basically it.
They use wool for jumpers, duvets, maybe even pillows,
Jumpers, insulation.
They're used for meat and food, and they're also used for making jumpers and hats.
Wool can make jumpers, maybe like socks or like fabric.
And here's a fun fact about them. Wow. If you put it on vegetables and you have lots of slugs, just put wool over and the slugs will go away.
How we farm our sheep is highly impacted by the seasons, but can you tell us a little bit more about what we need to do based on the time of year?
Sheep need to be sheared at summer so they don't overheat, and their wool grows back at winter.
Once a year in the summer, they bring them up with a sheepdog, they bring them into the shed. They get a big rack and they chain them up to it, and then they get the clippers and clip it off. And then somebody has to take it into the bag, and then somebody jumps it down. Boing, boing, boing.
In the olden days, we used the same method of collecting the wool, folding it up and packing it into big sacks. They even used to jump in the bags. To shear the sheep, we used scissors to cut off the wool from the sheep, which was far more time consuming, meaning we needed a lot more people to do the job. Despite holding on to many traditions, we've also developed better ways to complete the shearing. With our new, faster and more efficient technology, we can get through a field of sheep in a space of a few hours, with just one person using an electric trimmer.
They washed the wool to get all the poo off it, and then they dried the wool off, then they made them into woolly jumpers and blankets.
Wool is a key component to crafts and handmade clothing. The tradition of using wool to create yarn, which in turn creates jumpers, hats, and many other important items to keep us warm, has been maintained for centuries. Handmade clothing and accessories are created locally and taken to farmers' markets to be sold on as lovely gifts and Scottish souvenirs. Even our favourite and famous Scottish garment, kilts, are also made from wool. Lamb meat is used in many of our favourite dishes, such as shepherd's pie, lamb tagine, and even in our roast dinners. We can have it in many forms. Butchers emphasise the importance of using every part of the lamb, as each part can provide us with important nutrition and delicious meals. So why are sheep so important?
We need more sheep to produce more sheep, and then people can get more lamb and mutton.
Because they're good for like the grass.
And you couldn't really get cozy blankets without them, and they need their lambs for their meat and everything like that.
Sheep are a vital part of our Scottish identity, whether it's eating lamb, wearing wool, or just petting a fluffy sheep. Sheep connect us to our past and are a significant part of our Scottish heritage.